4 things that I do not like about the San Joaquin Valley. I'd say number 1 is gnats. And that's a new phenomenon. I have a theory about that because of the prevalence of drip irrigation. It's created a microclimate. That's a solvable problem. Even though California leads the country in dairy cows milk, we used to have a fly problem and it is almost not existent anymore, which is really awesome. There is an inconsistent amount of surface water, which is another thing that I don't like about the San Joaquin Valley. Gonna add that to my list, but it has eliminated the mosquito problem. So those 2 bugs are gone, but the gnats are here. And I think somebody's gonna figure that out because it's a little bit frustrating. Some years are worse than others in the summer when you're outdoors, to the point where you see parents with electric battery operated fans at sports event with it blowing in their face to keep those gnats off. So that is an issue, though it is a solvable one. I would say my biggest thing that I don't like about the valley is the smell of chemicals. Now, it's very rare. It's out in the country. Even the organic guys, they've got to spray some stuff too. It's usually only in the dormant. They'll hit some insects in the summer, so you can smell it from time to time. It doesn't happen very often, but when you smell it, you know you're breathing it. Now, from Bakersfield to Fresno is the worst air quality in the country, but it is significantly better. Starting in 1975, there's smog restrictions on all the vehicles, and they have progressively gotten better, and the air has gotten cleaner. Burning is almost non-existent down a delta south. There's a little bit up north, but not as much. So they have been mulching trees and orchards that have been pulled out, and we used to burn those. So that has really improved the air quality here. But the one thing that is solvable is dust. And so, especially in the fall, because we have, you know, a couple million acres of nuts now, and harvested, those brooms are picking up that dust, and it gets really, really dusty in the fall for a couple months. So that air quality is really low. It's kind of a haze, but that is a solvable problem because we have something called air quality here, where farmers turned in their old tractors and got highly subsidized new ones. So you don't see people running a lot of old smoky tractors around anymore. Everything's burning clean, and look at how clear the air quality is. Just an hour drive behind me are some of the highest peaks in the lower 48. Actually, those are the highest peaks. Those are 14,000 feet, what you're looking at right there, and just behind them is Mount Whitney, which is the tallest. And I can see the coastals looking at them right now on the other side, just another drive that way. So air quality is getting better, but in the fall, it's pretty rough. So those are the things that I don't like. I had a big farmer tell me the other day that his number 1 attribute in a realtor was that he would tell him the truth. So that's the hard truth, according to me. Those are things that I don't like. There's other things that other people don't like that I like. A lot of people don't like the fog. I love the fog. In fact, I did a 10-minute video series on the fog, how much I love it. Reminds me of the holidays. And a lot of people don't like the smells here, but I love the smell of harvest tomatoes, peaches in the summer. And to those things, those are really enjoyable to me, but other people don't like them. But those are mine. And so, as you know when you come, so that way you know you're prepared for them. I wanted to squeeze in an addendum here for a couple things that I missed in the last video, just to go a little bit deeper into air quality. So right in the middle of California is a 450-mile long valley. So the north is the Sacramento Valley, the middle is the Delta, and the south is the San Joaquin. Now the San Joaquin is the one that really has the dust problems, because the Delta area has those cool breezes from San Francisco that come in that produce that wine that we all enjoy. And the north really isn't very populated, and at least a third of that is rice fields. So they just don't have the air quality problems that they have in the Southern Valley. So that's really what we're talking about here. And we've done all these excellent steps by eliminating burning, heavy regulations now on trucking in the last 10 years, where a lot of California trucking companies have sold their fleet out of state, purchased new ones just to meet those regulations. Good for us that are here, even though it's the adds to the cost of doing business and the cost of living here. What price can you put on clean air? So we have really one more step to take, in my opinion, from what I see, and it's just really the dust in the fall that comes from the harvest from the 2.5 million acres of nut crops that are harvested here. So to sweep those nuts off the ground, there's little brooms, and they really stir up dust. You see these guys driving almond harvesters, they're just covered in dust, and all that goes up in the air. But there's new technology that's coming out of France now where they can capture that, and that equipment's really expensive. But we've turned in our old tractors and got brand new ones, highly subsidized, and we could do the same thing with that nut harvesting equipment. So if we do that, we are that close to awesome. And so know that that's what you're moving into. Air quality problems aren't so bad anywhere in the state. Even as a child, we used to go into Los Angeles and our eyes would start burning, and that has not happened in decades. And so they have really cleaned up the state with all those restrictions, but the real air quality problems happen in the bottom of the San Joaquin Valley. And I think we're just really one step away from doing everything that we can do here to solve that. So know that it's way better than it used to be, even though those stats make it look bad. And it is, but it's because of the bowl that catches that air, not so much of what we're doing here. So we're getting real close, and I think when we get that one done, we're going to be seeing clear just about every day. So I'm looking forward to that, and know that if you're considering moving here, that is the situation throughout the state.